Welcome back, first grade. Miss Hershey here. We are doing part 2 of our shapes project, our Matisse shapes project. So you are going to need the shapes you cut out last time, your paper scraps, and your 2 big pieces of colored paper. I am going to start with my shapes. I'm going to put my scraps and one of my papers aside, and I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to turn him short and fat, landscape style. It probably really doesn't matter. And we're going to start with one of our bigger shapes. And we're going to glue it on the paper. So you'll need a glue stick today. And you can glue it wherever you want on your paper. I'm going to glue mine. So we're going to flip it over. We're going to put the glue on the white side. That is very important. All of our gluing today will be on the white side. Okay? And you need to be careful to make sure you get glue on all these little bitty pieces. It's a little harder now that they've been cut, but we want everything to stick well and not come off the paper. So I'm going to glue this guy and I'm going to flip him. I'm going to stick him. And I'm going to gently rub so he's nice and flat, and any extra glue will come off as it dries. Okay, so he's on there really good, not poking off, nice flat paper. That piece is good. So I kind of glued him right in the middle. He's just floating around in the air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick another piece somewhere on my paper, and I want it to be touching him somehow. They're touching each other. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put him up here. And you can see they're overlapping. That means it's on top. I have one hand, I have 2 hands, and they're overlapping. This one's on top of this one. So we're going to overlap our shapes. So I'm going to take my second shape, whatever shape you want, does not have to be the same shape I'm using. I'm going to glue him. So we're going to do glue on all these little parts carefully. I have a big glue stick, so I need to be careful. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to stick it so that it's on top of my green shape, my first green shape. They're all green. There's that overlapping, okay? That's what we're going for today. We're going for some overlapping of our shapes. But we want to spread them out too. We don't want to just have them all crammed in the middle. I'm going to do my next biggest shape, and I'm going to try to find a good place for him. I'm going to move him around and see where I like him. Don't like him there. I kind of like him. No, I don't like him there either. This is hard. I think I'm going to put him here. Now you can see he's kind of hanging off the paper. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Let's worry about getting him glued. So I'm going to flip him over. He's got a lot of little fingers on him. So I'm going to take my paper away in case I get glue underneath. Going to carefully add my glue. And remember, if you can't keep up, you just pause this video and do it at your own pace. I go a little faster because I'm just doing it here by myself. But I know you probably are not going to go this fast. Okay, I've got all my glue on. I'm going to flip him. He's stuck to my fingers. And I'm going to stick him, and he's not 100% on the paper. And that's okay. He's hanging off a little bit. We're going to leave that like that and come back to it later. I will show you what to do with that later on. It's okay that he hangs off here and over here. You flip it over, you can see where he's hanging off. That is okay. We're not going to worry about that. I have 3 more shapes. I have my green, my small green, and I have my 2 pinks. So now what I need to do is figure out where to put these shapes so that we're kind of spread out. I think I want to do a green one up here, maybe a pink one right here, and my little pink guy floating around down here maybe. I'm going to try to plan this out. Maybe I do it this way. Move them around, see what you think, put them how you like them. Maybe the pink one goes on before the green one. It's your choice. I definitely like this guy down here, so I know I'm going to put him there. So let's do that. Kind of like him like that. He's overlapping my dark green shape and my lime green shape, which is kind of nice. He goes right up to the edge of the paper. That's okay too. This green guy, kind of like him better like that. And then maybe Pinky can come up here somewhere. So let's go ahead and glue on my green guy. And this is part 2, part 1. We did part 1 last time, but there's going to be 2 parts today too. So it's going to be a little bit of work for you. Let's move him over. We're going to smooth him down. He's hanging off the paper. That's okay. And my pink guy, I just want to put him like right here. He's just kind of chilling out at the top of the paper. Okay, once you've gotten all your shapes glued on, make sure you put your lid back on your glue stick, clip it on all the way so your glue stick doesn't dry out. You can let this dry for a few minutes, or you can go right to the next step. That's up to you, because we're not done. Now we have to get all this extra white off, because we want our paper to still be square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the back of my paper, and I'm just going to carefully trim off those pieces, and they can go right in my scrap pile from last time. So I'm just trimming right along my straight edge, trying not to cut any of my pink paper off, throwing those guys in my scrap pile. Okay, this guy's going to have a funky scrap. It's got a hole in it. Okay, last one. And that is my Henri Matisse cutting with scissors paper shape collage. You can turn it different directions and see how you like it. This is how I made it, but I don't necessarily like it that way the most. I kind of like it this way the most, with this guy coming down from the top. And you can see he's hanging off a little, so I might want to fix him with some glue. That's one thing you can go back and do at the end, is make sure all your shapes are glued on really well. And then you're going to take a picture of this guy and submit it to me. But we're not done today. We're going to do another project today. We're doing 2 for 1 today. So we're going to take this guy, set him aside to dry. Should have another piece of big paper, same color. Pull that guy out. And then you should have all your scraps from last time. We have all these crazy scraps that we used. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our scraps to make another collage. So you want to glue on the side with the white. Oh, Miss Hershey dropped our glue stick. Got a backup glue stick. Smaller. We're going to glue these scraps on now. You don't have to use them all. Let's try to use 5. 5 scraps should be good enough, I think. And you can glue them on. Oh, Miss Hershey just dropped her other glue stick. We're going to put them on however you want to fill out your paper. I'm going to start this guy in the corner because he has a corner, and I kind of like that. Grab my glue stick. And then I'm going to go with, this is the same piece of paper. You can see they kind of went together. I want to glue that one up here, I think. That gives me sort of a neat look, having both of the same color from the same shape. You don't have to do that. You use whatever scraps you want. I'm just kind of showing you the idea here, and I want you to go kind of crazy with your scraps. So we're going to take this guy and put him up here in this corner, or I'm going to take this guy at least. So there's 2 out of 5 pieces. I'm already getting a good little roll going on. Now remember, we had that weird finger piece that had all the different fingers on it. He was kind of crazy. So I want to decide where to put that. And then I've got this one here. And I really kind of like lining them up. You don't have to do that on yours, but I'm liking that on mine. You could put it, you know, wherever you want, in the middle, overlapping, your choice. But I'm going to line mine up because I kind of like how that's looking. I'm digging it, guys. Kind of a cool little effect we got going on here. So again, it's going to hang off the paper, but we talked about on the first collage how that's okay. We can trim those sort of bonus pieces off. Do that same thing down here. I like these ones. They remind me of seaweed almost. And they're green, so that kind of works because seaweed is also green. Or sometimes I think seaweed's brown. Maybe that's lakeweed. Okay, so I've got some pieces hanging off the edge. That's okay. I've got 4 pieces, so I really only need 1 more scrap. You can do more than 4. Excuse me, more than 5. You can do just 5. That's up to you. And you can trim your scraps. So I'm actually going to trim this one. I like it, but it's a little bit big. So I'm going to trim around the outside of this guy because he's just a little crazy big. I don't love it. Okay. Then I'm going to see what he looks like. Don't love this part right here. So I'm going to kind of... Nope, not high enough. There we go. That's a scrap I like. So I'm going to flip him over. Remember, we're putting our glue on our side with our white. That's going to be the back because it's not as pretty as the side with just color. It's a little messy from our scraps. I'm going to flip him. I like him like that. Just carefully smooth this one down because it's a little weird. Okay. And now you can add more to this, or you can leave it the way it is. And if you have little pieces that you trimmed off of your last one, you might have some small little pieces. These are the pieces that I trimmed off of my first collage that were kind of bonus pieces. So they're small, but I like them. And they're still a little gluey. Maybe they'll stay on without me actually gluing. And then I had another piece that I cut off that I knew was a little funky. This guy. He has that little like window. See that little pink popping through? I don't think I'm going to use him, but he was a cool piece. So these do need some glue. They're a little too dry. Gonna glue on my little bitty green ends that I cut off of my first collage. Totally recycling our art here. We're recycling our scraps into a second project. And we're almost done. So the only other thing I have to do with this guy is trim him. So I'm gonna flip him over. Trim off this extra. Over here. Okay, I need to put my lid on my glue stick. Make sure it pops. I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see. So this is my second Henri Matisse shape collage. They are, you know, pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to fit both of them out. Let's see if we can fit both of them out to see the difference. So yeah, here is this one. We'll hold him up here maybe. This is about as close as I can get. They're very different, but when you put them next to each other, they're also kind of the same. This one is what we call positive, and this one's negative. We use these shapes to make positive space, and here we use these shapes to fill in the negative space. And that is in the little space video that you saw, and it's not something we really have to worry about too much in first grade, but I do like to talk about it a little. And we have these two really cool shape things that we have made. So go ahead when you're done. You can take a picture of both of them side by side or one picture of each and have them sent to me. Have your parents submit them into Schoology. I hope you guys liked this project. It's one of my favorites. Have a great day. Bye.